It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's showtime, Geno Jones showtime. We made it to the weekend. It's been a hell of a week. Man, if you've seen my show all week long, my monologues, it is some crazy times going on. But we're going to find joy today. The Geno Jones Show. I come to you live. Oh, happy birthday. As of Wednesday, October 1st, the Geno Jones Show turned 5 years old. So thank you, everybody, for your support. Monday through Friday, relatively new time, 7:30. When I started 5 years ago, I used to come on at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. So tell everybody, because I think I'm only like 56 new subscribers from becoming a YouTube partner. All right, so 1,000 new subscribers. What does that mean? You're saying, all right, Geno, a YouTube partner. What does that mean? Y'all hanging out? Y'all dating? Or what y'all y'all kicking it? Y'all hooking up? No, not that kind of deal at all. Maybe hooking up some cash. So once you get 1,000 new subscribers, YouTube, they will monetize your channel, your YouTube channel, and support. And so they will be supporting my media company and my YouTube channel. So please spread the news. That's when two words come out at one time. So please spread the word. Please share the news, share the show, copy and paste the link, tag everybody, all your friends, fans, followers. You can tag, copy and paste the link, share the episode, tag the episode. By the way, the Geno Jones Show brought to you by Kojo. LLC.com. That's COJO LLC.com. Courtney Johnson. She returns next Thursday with Courtney's Corner. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, first home, starter home, first home, upgrade, dream home, downsizing a home, maybe a home for investment property that you're going to rent out, whatever it is, you want to buy or sell, reach out to Courtney Johnson. Tell her you were watching the Geno Jones Show. She got you covered like a blanket on a cold winter night, a nice big warm blanket. 843 area code 543-4022. That's the 843 area code 543-4022. All right. So Friday, I have my guest co-host, and big shout out to our original guest co-host, Miss Keila Carson, who helped me celebrate on Wednesday the official birthday of the Geno Jones Show. The actual date officially started 5 years ago, October 1st. So here we are. So shout out to Keila Carson. Shout out to Kendrick Bannister, one of the big early supporters and sponsors of the Geno Jones Show. He is the CEO of the Crate Group. He made a big announcement that his organization, they partnered up with the country of Liberia, back on the motherland, and they will be selling this black rice that is so healthy for you. As a matter of fact, they've done some research and some studies. It's been proven to lower people's A1C. So you would think of rice, you think of this rice they got over here with all the starch. No. This rice, they say, has the opposite effect. So go back and watch Wednesday's show, and you can get all that information out. They will be selling the rice. By the end of the year, you'll be able to purchase it. So, and they got this big partnership here in America with Liberia. It's so important that we're all we got. Like I've said, we're all we got, but we're all we need. And we got everything that we need. And I've got the reigning queen. Yes, a week ago Friday, you got a chance to see 5 of the 6 contestants for the Miss Plus Size Charleston, South Carolina USA pageant. Well, last Saturday, a new queen was crowned. And guess who won? That's right, my co-host that you're going to see in just a few minutes, Miss Christy K. Love, the queen, Baxter McLaurin. So excited. and she'll tell you where you can see, because there's probably like 1,000 videos out now on social media. And so just a heads up. So when you see some of these videos of Christy during her talent competition and toward the end, when she gets the crown, when they place the crown on her head. So if you hear this fool yelling, yeah, stand up, Taurus. Go ahead, Taurus. So if you hear this fool yelling, I have to confess, I'm the fool yelling, yeah, Taurus. Go ahead, Taurus. Stand up, Taurus. I'm the idiot. Yeah, because I listened to myself. First of all, I didn't sound anything. I was like, damn, I sound like that yelling. I said, gee, I need to shut up. But it was great. I'm so proud of her. So I can't wait to bring her on. Look, I gotta briefly talk about something. I will be talking about this on a regular basis because I have been warning people. It is clear that Orange Hitler and the MAGA cult government, they have declared war on Black America. Now, if you don't believe me, if you haven't seen the video, so you had these Nazis who are called ICE agents with masks on, domestic terrorists who are federal agents along with some FBI agents. So you had, I've heard all kind of numbers. I've heard somewhere numbers. It was in the hundreds, okay? Because I've heard some figures like 100 something to 300. So in the hundreds, and in an entire huge like apartment complex. As a matter of fact, 130 units on the south side of Chicago in South Shore, literally right on 75th and South Shore Drive. There's a beach, Rainbow Beach, right across the street. 10 o'clock at night, looking for some Venezuelans, because some Venezuelans that were sent to Chicago from Texas, with Governor Hot Wheels, Greg Abbott, sent these Venezuelans to Chicago and some other cities. So for whatever reason, this building had a concentration of Venezuelans. No word about them, because the lie is, oh, they're in this Triagua, whatever bullshit. They're in this Venezuelan gang and they're dangerous. So the only dangerous people that we saw were these ICE agents with long guns, with chainsaws, sawing down literally destroying people's property, stealing people's furniture and audio equipment, trashing people's apartment, tearing doors off the hinges, knocking windows out. Black Hawk helicopter hovering over the building at 10 o'clock at night, zip tying children, zip tying new children, zip tying babies, black babies, and all of that to arrest 30 Venezuelans. But I told you, and I told for the brothers and sisters that said, oh, they deporting them illegal aliens, man. That ain't my problem, because them Latinos, man, they ain't standing. I told you. That was just, that's the test run. I told you they were coming for you and me. But guess what? Even for these white folks with the MAGA hat, they are coming for you too, if you don't kiss ass and kiss the ring. So I got a lot to say, more to say next week, outside of the fact that stay strong, Chicago's going to do that. And we're going to stand up and make sure you videotape everything. Shout out to Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson, because your boy really is trying to incite mass violence so he can declare the Insurrection Act. But I'm going to say this before I bring on K-Love, who, by the way, is a veteran, and I salute her service and sacrifice. Many of you all probably saw some video or heard about it. Maybe you even watched some of it yourself. Let me shout out to, hey, Rosalind, shout out to you and to my mom, Mary Dixon, who's watching. So Orange Hitler and his Secretary of Defense, because it's still the Secretary, it's the Defense Department. Now, you can call it the Department of War, but to change the name of a government department like that. It's an act of Congress. But they feel Orange Hitler's attitude is fuck the Constitution. I don't give a damn about the Constitution and no law. I'm your Lord, Orange Lord and Savior, and I'll do what the hell I want to do. Woo! But as my guest co-host said earlier, the day of reckoning. The day of reckoning, yes, the day of reckoning is coming. Because the day of reckoning is going to come for everybody eventually, good or bad. So, and like I said, the energy you put out into the universe, it will always find its way back to you, good or bad. So that day, Orange Hitler, that day of reckoning, woo! But I'm going to say this. I don't know how many of you all, I know millions, there are millions of veterans who are retired. There are millions of people that have family members who are active duty. And on Tuesday, you had 800 of the top 2, 3, 4-star generals, admirals, the most experienced, the most educated, the most studied when it comes to war. These men have a PhD in fighting wars. They are, you're talking about this Pete Hegseth, with his poser as fake wannabe tough guy who they look down upon because he was a reservist, and no shade to reservists, but he, in no way does he have the intelligence, the experience, the qualification, the receipts, the boots on the ground that these generals, they don't give you bars. Them bars that those men had on their shoulders, you earn that. These men have gone to West Point, Annapolis. They go to the War College. Y'all don't even understand. There are levels to this. There are levels to this military that Orange Hitler don't even realize. But I'm going to say, I'm going to tell you what I saw, and I've had it. It's been confirmed. I've seen videos today. There's a TikTok video going around. I forgot. There's a retired, I think, Lieutenant Colonel Malcolm something, an elderly white guy, pissed. Our military expert, retired Master Sergeant in the Marines, Roy Gray. Full disclosure, my first cousin. He told me in real time, after this charade where Pete Hegseth basically threatened, talked down to and threatened these generals and admirals, basically said if they didn't like the way things were going, if they didn't want to basically do what he and Orange Hitler are telling them to do, run the military the way they want it done, they could hand in their resignation. No, even Nixon didn't pull no shit like this. You threaten these dudes? And I said in real time, because I've been saying all along, I said that Donald Trump is going over like all these evil dictators that think that they are unstoppable and that they are omnipotent and omnipowerful. They always, Hitler, Mussolini, Stalin, Mao in China, you name it, they always, Saddam Hussein, they always overshoot the runway. They always go too far. Now, Orange Hitler and Pete Hegseth, they can send ICE agents to storm an apartment building and terrorize women and children and immigrants. Yeah, you can do that tough guy shit to an apartment complex with a bunch of innocent, unarmed people. You can intimidate, you can spread fear and anxiety for a whole lot of people, not just in America, but around the world. Millions. But there's one group of people, Orange Hitler, that you cannot intimidate, that are not afraid of you or Pete Hegseth prancing around like a little rooster. And that is those 800 men, that you talk down to and threaten their careers, their jobs, their rank that they earned literally with their own blood, sweat, and tears, and you threaten them and tell them that if they don't like the way you're doing things, they can hand in their resignation. You picked on the wrong people, because the one group of men that are not afraid of you and that you should tread very lightly with is those generals and those admirals. And I'm telling you what I know. I saw it and felt it, but it's been confirmed from multiple sources. Many retired veterans, from the generals, admirals, lieutenant colonels, master sergeants on down, that did not sit well. Now, yeah, you got your little MAGA cult faction in the active duty military, but those 800 men, no. Why do you think they didn't applaud? And then your boy's upset. Well, this is the first time I've ever been in a room and no one had applauded. They didn't want to be there in the first place. And these men are way smarter than your ass, Orange Hitler. And that little punk ass parading around like a little rooster, Pete Hegseth, or lethality, maximum lethality, and the best war fighters, and no more fat generals walking around the Pentagon. But did you look to your right? Your commander-in-chief can't even button up his damn suit jacket with the hamburgers and the Diet Cokes, but you're going to talk down to these men? 30, 40 years of experience that have led, collectively, those 800 men have led millions of men over the decades. And you, Orange Hitler, draft dodger, and your Secretary of Defense, or as you call it, War, who's been accused by his former co-workers, multiple co-workers at the Fox propaganda channel, of being a drunk. So the men and women in the military that I've talked to, they're like, you got a draft dodger and a drunk that's going to talk down to these 3- and 4-star generals and admirals? Last thing I'll say, one of the last things I was told is, those men and men on that level, 3- and 4-star generals and admirals, they do not take to being threatened lightly. And they don't take to being threatened kindly at all. This is not going to go well. I don't know how it's going to end, but I will tell you one thing. He has made a lot of enemies in the wrong place to make enemies, even if you are the commander-in-chief, because they know way more about a whole lot about illegal orders, and they know way more than you and Pete Hegseth would ever know. So that goes back to karma. Be very careful. The energy you put out into the universe, it'll find its way back to you. And as my guest co-host is about to come on camera said, oh, the day of reckoning. Yes, that day of reckoning is coming. Speaking of coming on camera, there she is, ladies and gentlemen. The Queen is here. The Queen is here. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the Queen. What was that movie? Will Smith's like, the King is here. The King is here. Well, the Queen is here. She's even got her Queen of Spades shirt on there with the matching earrings. Ladies and gentlemen, I am so proud of this lady. She's been guest coast hosting for me. She picked up the baton from my girl, Miss Keela Carson, soon to be Dr. Well, this time next year she'll be Dr. Carson, Dr. Keela Carson. and she
Mm-hmm.
talked about it on Wednesday. And my girl, she has hit a grand slam home run. She has done an outstanding and amazing job. And she was even more amazing on stage last Saturday night. The brand new queen of Miss Plus Size Charleston for 2025, Christy Kayla Baxter McLaurin. Hello, Queen. Hello, Queen.
Hello there,
The Queen is
Geno.
here.
Hi.
So I can see you.
Oh
You are
goodness,
still
I
growing,
appreciate you.
Queen. So I listen. I have I've, I've I've said my piece Friday. You know, we always try to have fun and make it a funny Friday, but you know, we just got some real. Uh, it's just a really, it's a real dangerous time. I'm not. I can't. I'm not going to even front and lie about it. Um,
It
but
is. It is.
there are
It is.
uh, more and more people who need to speak up are speaking up, and like I said, there's one group of people that if you are the president of this country that you really don't want to piss off, and that's your generals and admirals. You really don't.
Correct.
I can't think of
Correct.
any president in the history of America that's ever, probably since the Civil War, that has done something like that. Even then, yeah, I mean, Lincoln
Right.
didn't piss off his own generals and admirals. He pissed off the Confederate, the traitors, but
Mm-hmm.
and you served in the military. Once again, I salute to your
Yeah.
thank you, and I salute your service and sacrifice. But
Thank you.
those men with those bars on
Yeah.
their shoulders, you,
Correct.
they don't just those bars. They don't give them out like a participation trophy.
They do not. They do not. Those those are absolutely earned. Those are absolutely earned. It is indeed a dark and troubling time in this nation under this administration. Um, I'll be honest with you. It's hard, very hard for me as as a veteran to see the things that's going on, see and hear the things that's going on. Um, yes, officers, the ones that have the higher ranking officials, if you will, of the service, definitely, they've earned that and they deserve their props. But all servicemen and women, that pledged, that took the oath, to defend the Constitution,
Wait,
and it's
do me a favor. I want. I'm stopping you because I don't want that to just kind of go by people, and
uh-huh.
it might be it might be hard for you, for those who've never served, like I've never
Mhm.
served, but like I said, I got family members. At my first cousin, who's a regular guest on the show, I've got family members that's been in every branch. My grandfather was in World War One. My
Wow.
father-in-law was in the Korean War. I had an uncle who was in the Navy, and y'all got cousins in the Air Force, Army, like every branch. But I want you, I stopped you because I want to go back, and I
Okay.
want you to explain to people how serious this oath that you all, as military, those in the military, even those who are retired,
Mm-hmm.
the oath that you all take to the
Mm-hmm.
Constitution, and explain to them what that means and what it doesn't mean. I remember General Mark Milley did a great job one time. This was like the first time this fool was around. And he was like, we don't take an oath to a king or a dictator or a wannabe dictator.
Mm-hmm.
We take an oath to the Constitution, and
Correct.
I don't. It's clear to me that this dude doesn't have any concept because he punked out and bitched out with these bone spurs. His daddy paid to keep him from going in the military, and Hexeth just is clueless. So he was
Mm-hmm.
probably, still he may still be on a binger somewhere. But
Mm-hmm.
explain to those who have never served in the military, explain to them what that oath really means and how deep that men and women like you on every level, from the 4-star generals down to the privates that's just out of boot camp and all the retired veterans, no matter what your rank was.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me say this first. When I signed up for the United States Air Force. I did it to get out of Charleston. I did not want to do school. I did not, as intelligent as I am, I was intimidated by the idea of being in school. So I said, you know what? Yes, I was. I was intimidated by it because here's the thing: if you decide to pursue higher education, that's not something that you can just fly by the seat of your pants with. You have to dedicate yourself to studying and getting good grades, but maintaining good grades.
Yeah.
I was never a party girl. It wasn't about wanting to hang out. No disrespect to fraternities or sororities. That was never my thing. I definitely had a thing for band because I was in marching band all through high school. So I had a thing for bands, but the whole idea of school, that at that time when I was fresh out of high school, that was not a thing for me. I was like, okay, what are my other options? And I decided to meet with a recruiter right here in North Charleston. Went and met with his name was Jeffrey Fornash. Yes, I remember his name. Tech Sergeant Jeffrey Fornash at the Air Force Recruiting Station. He had me watch some videos, and I didn't feel very patriotic. I didn't feel like, oh, I wanted to defend the red, white, and blue. No, I was just like, I want to get out of Charleston. I'm tired of looking at Hot Now on James Island. Shout out to Hot Now. That was a big activist dream with them 39-cent burgers and then 49-cent fries. Hot Now. We miss you. We miss you. Yeah. I was tired of being here and I wanted to see the world. And that was what I was sold on, being able to see the world. So when it was time to take the oath of service, I'm not even gonna lie to you, it really hit home reciting those words. Now I am 49 years old. I'm not about to sit here and lie and say I remember the oath. No, I don't. No, I do not. No, I do not. I just remember the emotion and the feeling that came over me because I knew how serious it was. And I stood there with my right hand raised and swore to solemnly defend the U.S. Constitution and all that good stuff and all that good jazz. And I don't say that with disrespect, but as I've gotten older, and first of all, now to see how veterans are mishandled, how they are overlooked,
Yes.
how a country that we stood up and fought for, we fight more on the home soil than we do elsewhere.
That's true.
So to try to get the benefits we need. There are so many homeless veterans, running rampant throughout the U.S., and it's sad. It is so sad, right? But it's like to get back here and to get to this point right now, and to have men that dodged the draft. You never even took the oath. You never signed up to go on a tour to even take a look at these, third world countries, let alone defend the country that you signed up. You didn't even do any of that. But you have the unmitigated gall to say things like that. Oh, shame on you. Shame on you. I cannot speak for all veterans. I can only speak for this veteran right here. And as a female veteran, but more so as a female African American veteran who, in essence, has fought for a country that, yeah, okay. I'm not gonna go there, but yeah, okay.
That ain't fighting for you right now. This firing 400,000 qualified black women. I'll say it.
Correct. Thank you. It's like listen. I don't even like going there because I don't like when those emotions come up in me because it can be very overwhelming. And I am one of those people. If I get angry and I start crying, you might want to duck.
Yeah.
If I get angry and I start crying, you might want to go find you something safe to do. I don't like to get like that because I can be very passionate. Sister is passionate about her snacks. She is. But when it comes to, very passionate about my snacks now. Very. But when it comes to things such as this, fighting for a country that doesn't even think you're worth it, when it comes down to expecting a system that was never devised with us in mind.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. So to already be dealing with those type of emotions, and now you got people that you didn't even have the gumption. Okay. You
Right.
didn't have the gumption to even take a stand like that, but you disrespect the men and women that did. Shame on you. Like that, there is nothing okay about it. There's nothing cool about it. But when I tell you, I am not going to allow myself to get but so worked up because your day of reckoning will come. You're not, you may be getting away with or feeling like you're getting away with a lot of different things. It's not going to last forever, baby. So I get it. Y'all are doing what y'all are doing. And yes, I said y'all, and whoever sees this and feels some type of way about that, then that mean you one of them. It's okay. It's okay.
What's the saying, Kay? A hit dog holler.
Hit dog gonna holler and holler loud, perf, whatever.
So,
My thing is, you can't run forever. Karma knows where to find you. The thing I love about Karma, baby, she knows how to find you. She don't need your address. She don't, because if she can't get to you, she will get to somebody you love. She'll come in through your children. You mess around and fool with her too hard. So the graves and ditches that y'all call yourself setting and digging for others, baby, you about to trip up and fall in it. I'm so sorry. You about to trip up and fall headlong right into that ditch. It's okay. It's like it's not okay, but it's going to be okay. It is going to be okay.
And it's funny. I just want to piggyback because you when you were talking about karma, and refer to karma as she, you sound like Damaris. I think I may have told you one time. Okay? And Damaris, she is not really into she is, but she's not. Just because it's not even about politics; it's about humanity now. But some time ago, she was like, she said, karma. She said, karma. She's a slow bitch, but she'll eventually show up. I start.
She does.
I start.
She's
howling.
slow, but she's
because for Damaris to say that was like completely out of the blue.
I love it.
And the way she said it and her timing, I'm howling. But I was like, damn, that's what I've been saying, and she just said it.
But it's true.
Yep.
She
so
is
eloquently
slow,
and simply, she said, karma, and Damaris don't cuss. She said, karma, she's a slow bitch, but she'll eventually show up. I was like, what?
She will. She will. She
and that's
will.
What you said it just made me think about that. What Damaris said.
Because she is. She's slow. She is slow, but she's sure. And that's what people get. That's what they always get. That's why I said they end up at the intersection of F around and find out. They end up right at that intersection. Right on that boulevard, baby. And then be looking how they looking. It's okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
What did
Kendrick
Lamar say? We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right.
We gonna be all right. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gonna be yes. Because we are. We are. I mean, I think what people I do think what we as a melanated community do have to keep in mind is that at the end of the day, we must be some type of a threat. We must be, there's still so many of us that still have not come into full essence of our power. Because why would they be so hell-bent on trying to destroy our very existence? I think a lot of people, they're so busy looking at the foolishness and the shenanigans, the buffoonery that they're doing, that they're forgetting that the fact of the matter is, for them to be that hell-bent on trying to destroy us, we must have some type of power. Other than that, why would they do it? Why would they do it? So it's okay. It's okay. We gonna be all right.
We gonna be all right.
We gonna be all right. We are.
Speaking of all right, somebody on my screen, on your screen right now, is all right. So congratulations once again. And I want you to, and you got shout out to Rosalind Anderson, one of my regular viewers. She said, "Congrat in all caps, congratulations, K Love." My mom is like,
Thank
"Congratulations,
you.
K Love." So, and she just said what you just said, so true. So you got the Amen choir in the chat room. so
Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
so if you don't mind, take us.
Mhm.
Um, Start wherever you want to start. If you want to start it, the journey, because okay, so this journey to where we are now as the new queen, plus size Charleston queen.
Mhm.
This journey
Mhm.
started when technically? There you go. Put that thing on now. Come
I,
on, you earned it. Just like you were talking about those
I
generals that
wasn't gonna
earned
put
them
it on,
stripes.
but
You earned that crown. So you
okay.
earned
Okay.
the right to look. You own. I hope they
Yes.
got another one. They need to have 2 or 3 backups because you earned the right to sleep in that joint right there. You earned that thing.
Sleep. Oh no, no, no. I like to be comfortable. Heavy is the head that wins the crown because, baby, this thing, like seriously, like it's so beautiful. It's like even still, even in this moment, like just touching it, looking at it all over again. And then this was the trophy that
Look
I
at
got.
that. Go ahead on, K
Yeah,
Love. I love it.
yeah. And for those of you that don't know, I not only secured the title and the crown, I got additional awards as well. I got the best creative wear, best talent, best evening gown, Miss Congeniality, most tickets sold, most ads sold. And there are several videos
She
floating on
swept the
social media.
categories, all of them, y'all. She was like the Bulls back in the 90s when they were sweeping folks. She swept everything.
I
She
need
had
y'all
so many
to
trophies.
understand.
Her sister, her daddy, everybody, they
My
had to
daughter,
help her carry them, all the damn
they had to
awards
help me
she had.
carry them. Yeah, I should have brought one of the statues in here. I say statues, but one of the other trophies in with me. But this was the trophy I got. After well, right before being crowned, they handed this to me first, and then I stooped down to get that crown on, and I'm trembling. I was trying not to ugly cry because I really wanted to bust out with the Chewbacca cry. I could not believe that it played out the way that it did. I mean, seriously, the whole experience was a beautiful one for me because I learned so much about myself.
So
I realized,
do this, K Love. Because I want to try to get as much in as it can. I know I got to let
yeah,
you get some rest because you haven't gotten any rest. But first, tell everybody, all the viewers, when did this journey start? And then just to piggyback on what you were saying, segue into what did you what did you most learn about yourself?
wow, that's a huge question. The pageant journey started for me um back, I would probably have to say, oh, that had to be probably January
Really?
of
That
this
far
year.
back? Wow. Okay.
Um, Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. This has been going on for some months. Well, actually, that's actually a lie. My pageant journey actually began 5 years ago.
Really?
Back in 2020, a former co-worker, shout out to Tamara Chisholm. Also, I call her my T Tammy. We worked together at Johnson and Johnson, managing insurance group. It's a privately owned insurance firm in Mount Pleasant. Awesome place. Awesome, awesome place. This girl told me back in 2020, and it was shortly before I was terminated from there. I'm mad at y'all for terminating me. Y'all need to tell me to go ahead and go. They did. I can't even lie. I deserved that. I earned that. I earned that termination. I did.
Damn, K.
But I ain't
I
gonna
don't even
lie.
want to know what you did for you to
Yeah, I
own up
didn't
and
do
be like,
anything. I didn't do anything, to cause me to be, on Live 5 News, but I deserved that. I did. I did. And they loved me. The HR lady, she was crying when she was terminating me. They did not want to let me go, but they was right. But anyway, back in 2020, Tamara Chisholm asked me, she said, would you ever consider running for Miss Plus Size Charleston? And I looked at her like she had sprouted a second head. I was like, excuse me, I was like, what did you just say? She was like, I can see you doing that. Gino, I didn't have the confidence to do that then. I knew that I was on my last straw where I was at,
Mm.
job wise. I knew that I was behind on my rent where I was living at the time.
Mm.
I knew that I was behind on my car note. I knew that any day they was going to be deactivating my car because I have one of them. I have one of them buy here, pay here cars where you don't pay your note on time, baby. They flip the switch on you. You go to start that bad boy, and all they do is click them, and you sitting there looking. That's just my testimony. I know everybody ain't been through that, but yeah, I had to click them, and I was
What
click
you
a
call
couple
it?
times.
Click them.
Yes,
That's why
they
that's what people. This is why people love you. This is why because you are so honest and open. You're like an open book, and there's
I
nothing phony
because
about you. And
no,
it's organic. This is you. It's not an
this
act.
is
Trust me, you all.
mm,
This is Christy. This is K Love. No matter.
I don't
This is
have
her.
to. I don't have to pose. I don't have to put on for the book. I don't have to put on when I'm on somebody's stage. I don't have to put on when I get in front of people. And the truth of the matter is, that's part of the reason why so many people don't like me because they have to get up every day and decide which mask they're going to put on.
Mm.
I don't do that. I'm the same all the time. And I'm sorry, authenticity is always going to dismantle and disrupt fake behind people. I'm trying to stop cursing, so that's why I say what I really want to say. But yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, inauthentic people are always bothered by me, and that's fine. That means that you don't need to be around me anyway because I'm not going to do all that. I'm nice. I'm a nice girl, but please, I'm also a Taurus. Don't make these horns come up. Don't do it because I'm telling you, as nice as I can be, that's how mean I can be, and I don't like getting like that. I really don't. Yeah,
That's
but
a
yeah.
Taurus.
So
That's another
when
fake
Tammy
Taurus.
told
Y'all
me to,
come.
yeah, yeah, that's why me and him. Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all about him, and I'm gonna tell y'all how Mr. Jones gut punched my behind a week ago. I promise I'm gonna tell y'all about that. We gonna tell y'all
Oh
about that.
God.
But when Tammy told me to run that year, the reason I gave all those examples is because I used to look at myself through the lens of my situations and my circumstances. And in my mind, how can I call myself being a queen if my house isn't in order?
Mm.
To me, it does go back to, sweeping in front of your own front door. How can I, if I don't have myself in order, call myself standing in front of other people
Okay.
and trying to guide them, trying to encourage them, trying to tell them what to do? Now, when I first stepping into who K Love was, it was a nickname that was given to me. I started off being called Christy Love. Yes, after the Pam Grier movie or whatever, and then I started, some of the people at the station started saying, "No, what's up, K Love?" And Kush from Kicking Country, he would always say, "Hey, Love." He would always call me Love, but it was an honest name because I really truly do walk in love. I have a genuine love for people and a genuine love for humanity. So that's kind of where all that came into play. But even so, walking into who K Love was, that was hard for me because K Love didn't love herself
Mm.
because I was very disappointed in myself. It
Mm.
seemed like no matter how I tried to be better, it kept getting worse. I kept losing cars. I kept losing residences. And I couldn't, and there was a desperation type of me, a part of me that wanted love. And the truth of the matter was, it wasn't that I even wanted love. I wanted somebody to come in and rescue me. I wanted some man to come in and rescue me. And I kept attracting emotionally unavailable,
Mm.
otherwise attached
Yeah.
guys who were looking for a fool. They were looking for somebody that they could just kind of play over. And I ain't ashamed to tell you, I did play that role more than once because,
Mm.
again, I didn't love me. If I can't love me, how can I love somebody else? How? It's not possible. It's not possible. So I'm trying to, do this as quickly as I
No,
can.
you ain't got to
When
rush.
Tammy
I'm good. Come. Stop. Now,
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
look,
But so when Tammy,
when you get tired
uh,
and start falling asleep, that's when you can stop. Girl, I have never. You are the guest co-host,
I appreciate
so
you.
co-hosts
Yes,
don't get rushed. What part of
yes,
co-host? So that means
right.
you are a host along with me, co-host.
Yes, I
So
appreciate you.
the hosts don't get rushed.
Okay, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I'm still going to try not to drag it out too much. But I say all that to say the reason why I wanted to give all that background is because when it was presented to me in 2020, I simply was not ready. I simply was like, you know what? No, this is not what I need to do. So fast forward some years ahead, I finally got back on my feet, got in a residence, got a vehicle, started stepping out more. And what I started doing, instead of looking at all that I did not have, I started looking at all that I did have, but within. And I started looking into the fact that, okay, Christy, you do feel broken, but you're not broken. You're just severely bent. It's okay. Let's speak from the place of all the things you've been through. Let's love on folks from, yeah, not necessarily loving from a hurt place, but let's love from that other part of you, and let's push that out into the world. So that's when I kind of made my re-entry into radio, because I had stepped away from that as well. That's how disenchanted I felt with everything. And I love radio. I do. I love radio. I love what, the power of radio and the power of broadcasting. But at the end of 2022, after I was removed from afternoon traffic, after, things just kind of, for me, mentally, emotionally, physically, I was going through it. I was going through it. So I said, you know what? It's time for me to back up from everything. And I went silent. Everybody knows I am very active on social media because for a few reasons. For one, it's entertaining. But when I started having people telling me how much my post was encouraging them, even making them laugh sometimes, when I realized that me using that part of my voice was helping, I was doing that. But at the end of 22, I stopped all of it. I was like, you know what? I have nothing left to give. I felt tapped out. I felt and to be completely honest with you, at the end of 2022, I thought I was dying because I have obstructive sleep apnea. So I sleep with a CPAP every night. I don't mind sharing that. This is my story, and I can tell my story how I want to. I have obstructive sleep apnea. So at that time, before my veterans benefits kicked in, because that's when things started turning around for me. And 2022 was when I started getting my veteran benefits.
Okay.
Before getting them, I did not have a CPAP. Wow. So I wasn't able to sleep. I was always in a fog. I suffered from inflammation. So my legs and ankles were always swollen. I was having breathing issues. I was in bad shape, and I got rushed to the emergency room. They told me I had all the symptoms of congestive heart failure. So I was yes. And this is my first time like really sharing this, because I see the look on your face. Yes. Yes, sir. Nobody knew. I didn't tell anybody at the station. Sometimes I would get texts or emails. Hey, we got this event coming up. Are you available? I'm not available. And I left it at that. I thought I was dying in 2022. My kids didn't know. No, there was only one person that knew, and she knew because she was nosy, and she let me not go there, but she was nosy. I'll just say that. She wasn't minding her business and found out. And then she took it upon herself after the fact. She told my kids, but okay, anyway. But I thought I was dying. And I thank God, come February was when I finally got a CPAP. So I was able to start resting again, and I started feeling normal again. I started taking blood pressure medicine. I'm also anemic. I'm a juicy girl, but I'm anemic. So I had to start taking, iron and all that kind of stuff. And once I started doing all that, things started to turn around. So when I made my re-entry, if you will, into radio back that was like the top of 2023. That's when things were starting to turn around for me. At the end of 2023 was when I got into the home I'm in now. And I've been here now. I'm headed. So yeah, this is 2025. So I'm in my second year in here. Thank God. No more hotels, no more floors, no more cars. Well, before they got repossessed, because I slept in my car a couple of times. I did. I went through all of that stuff. And at the top of this year, what I started, and the top of this year was rough because I had just lost my son in December. So we had Christian service the week before Christmas. and that was my firstborn son. And when that happened, I remember through tears asking God, why won't you just let me catch a breath? I just started feeling better about Christy, but now you took my son. Like what did I do to you? I started actually wanting to believe that God didn't like me, that he was mad at me. Like for I really did, because I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand. Even after seeing my son looking beautiful and peaceful, he was so beautiful and peaceful. He really was. But still, I was like, God, I don't get this. I don't understand this. But even after going through all of that, in the end of January, I got a text message and it said, "Hey sis, how are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm okay." And he's like, I've been praying for you. I know you just suffered a loss and everything. I have a question for you. And I was like, I might have an answer. What's up? Would you consider running for Miss Plus Size Charleston?
Wow.
And I sat there for a moment and I promise you, I heard a voice say, do it. And I said, you know what? Sure. Why not? And I remember him responding. He's like, "You serious? You for real? Okay. The interest meeting is on February 1st." I was like, "Okay, sure thing, sure thing." Went to the interest meeting. We get halfway through the meeting. I think it was maybe four other girls there. Maybe we get near the end of the meeting, and when one of the coaches, and I love him, Coach T, if you see this, I love you, Terrence. I love you. When it got near the end of the meeting, Terrence says to me, well, he doesn't say to me, excuse me. He says to the group, so during the evening gown portion, what the judges are looking for is long, curly tendrils of hair. The moment he said that, I said, oh, this isn't the competition for me. Nothing against women with long hair, but that's not me. Every now and again, I'll get a little bug up my butt and feel like I want some braids, and I will rock braids, but my sides are still shaved. Every now and again, I'll do that. But for the most part, this is me. Short hair, different colors, and usually I have designs going on through my head. The only reason I don't have designs is because the pageant was last week. When he said the long curly tendrils of hair, I was like, mm-mm, we're not. This is not for me. I'm not going to do this. It was because of the fact that if I'm remembering correctly, Katrina Drayton, my CT, I love you, Trina. I love you. She ended up texting me. She said, "Hey," she was like, "Wow." She said, "I saw you filled out your form and everything about the pageant." She was like, "I'm hoping that you're still planning on running." And I said, "I don't know if that's going to be a good fit for me." And she's like, "Okay, let's chat. Let's have a conversation." So we talked, and I said, "Okay, I'll still consider. We'll see." When we finally met again with the rest of the girls, we had a meet and greet in March, and I was like, "Okay, this is kind of cool." We met at King Sushi. I was excited because I love sushi. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna eat me some sushi. I'm gonna drink me some of this holy sweet tea, and we gonna see what's going on. And when she gave me the packet of information, and I got to meet, because that was when I got to meet Shauna, Wendy, Asia, and LaAsia, and Elaine, who later she did, end up leaving the competition. But I got to meet all the girls with the exception of one. I didn't get to meet Moretta yet. But when I met the girls, instantly I was like, I'm supposed to be here. I don't know why yet, but I'm supposed to be here. I decided to stick it out. But when I tell you, several times I wanted to quit because it was pushing me to really show up in all of Christie. And I still wasn't quite sure, because how do you celebrate yourself when you still feel so broken inside? How do you really, portray yourself a certain way if you're really kind of not necessarily doubting yourself, but I didn't know how to balance the two. How do I celebrate feeling more of my fierce feminine goddess self when I'm a grieving mother and then a grieving friend? Because when I lost my friend Frankie, and then in addition to losing TJ and Mike, I was like, and those two, the way that they encouraged me and loved on me throughout what I had going on,
And let's just say
more
for
than one.
those, let me just say this: TJ and Mike are co-workers of both of ours, and we were very
Yes,
close to both
yes,
Mike. But TJ was very special. I know, very special to you. in real
Yes.
life, and he was a brother to me. So
Yes.
just for context, so people be like, "Oh, okay, who is
Yes.
TJ and Mike?"
Yes.
Those were co-workers,
Yes.
and they died like 6 months apart. I think it was like 6 months.
6 months apart.
Hmm.
Mike died 5 days before my son did. 5 days. Yes, sir. So I remember the way that I sobbed and cried after getting the call about Mike, not knowing that on that Monday I was going to get another call, and this time
Oh
it
my
was going
God.
to hit closer to home.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like after going through those, and then 6 months later losing TJ, and then I think it was 2 weeks later, one of my bestest friends, Frankie Lashare Green, and I even after that happened, I was like, okay, I'm supposed to do a pageant in a couple of months. It's at the end of the month, but how am I supposed to do this when these people, even though my son was, severely autistic and nonverbal, that was still my son. That was my firstborn son. So I'm still, thinking, okay, there's a hole in my heart that is never going to be filled. How do I do this? And then the person who helped me when my son died, Frankie was the person that got me out of the house. Frankie was the one that called me and said, "Hey, meet me at 843 Korean barbecue place or whatever it's called on Rivers Avenue." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't really feel." She's like, "Oh, you thought I was asking you. I understand." She was like, "I'll see you at one." And then she hung up, and I was like, "Oh," but I'm so glad I went because that's the last time. That is the last time that we
Oh
went out
wow.
together. Went, sat with her, we laughed, we talked. I think I got a little terry or whatever, but ooh, we ate some more. And then we started singing together. Me and her used to sing together all the time. And she had a beautiful singing voice. And I could sing a little bit, but whatever. We singing together. That was my girl. So when all that happened, and then going through the loss of her, and then just knowing that greatness was right there in my grasp, but not quite sure if I could do it. And many times through tears, I was like, God, I really don't know what you want me to do with all this. I feel like you're telling me to to keep pressing, but God, I don't think I can handle this. And then as we're getting closer in the competition, and I think all of the girls, all of our nerves were starting to ramp up. And you know, I love females. And then sometimes I'm like, okay. And that is nothing against any particular contestant sister of mine. Okay. Let me be clear about that. I'm talking about women as a race. Yes, I am heterosexual. In case some of y'all be like, oh, I didn't know Kristen was. No, I am an ally though. I love my LGBTQ community. Do not misunderstand me. And please don't misquote me. But women as a race, sometimes I'm like, I see why dudes just be like, man, nah, shorty got too much going on. Because sometimes, sometimes. And then I think about how I am and how difficult I can be. Sometimes I get on my own damn nerves and I can't even escape myself. Sometimes I'm like, Christy, you just being ridiculous right now. Go to your room. Whatever. It's like that
So
sometimes.
wait,
And
Caleb, you
so
said you put yourself on timeout, or
I
put
do.
yourself in timeout.
Yes. I do. I do. I'm like, you know what? Just go in your room. Don't say anything. And that's what I started doing. What a lot of people didn't know is um, between June, yeah, really heavily June up until no, it was before that. Right after my birthday, because of course my birthday is May 11th. Right after Mother's Day, going into July, going into September, I was battling depression. I was staying on top of my mental health visits. I go to the VA faithfully, and have my shout out to Tyrone, one of the best peer counselors ever. I had to make sure I was staying on top of that because I was not okay. I was not okay. But I was like, okay, I'm going to try to figure this out. I'm going to try to power through it as best as I can. And when it was all said and done, now I'm gonna tell y'all about your friend right here. Let me tell y'all about my Taurus brother. Hold on, let me take my glasses off for this one. Let me
Damn, I
tell
thought
y'all lean in close. Let me tell
I
y'all about
thought
this.
I thought she had skated by. I thought I was safe.
Oh, and you know what's so funny to hear him say that he thought he had skated by because I thought I had skated by him last week. So let me share. So last week, and I would love for y'all to go back. and watch the episode that we did last Friday, the day before the pageant, because I was frustrated. I was not really frustrated with like any of the other girls. And I say really, I wasn't frustrated with any of the other girls. I was frustrated with me because I didn't know how I was going to really do this. I was like, I knew that I wanted this crown. I knew I wanted it, but I wasn't really sure if I really deserved it. And I started second guessing myself. And the thing about my brother right here, I don't have to tell him anything. I do not have to tell him one mumbling word because he just knows. He just knows. After we were finished doing the segment with him, I wanted to cry, but then I felt like breaking something. Then I felt like eating till I couldn't, till I passed out. My mind was all over the place, right? And I said, you know what? No, I'm gonna call him because see, no, I need to have a word with him. And no, I wasn't calling to argue with him, but I knew in that particular moment, yes, there are other people I could have called. Do not misunderstand it, but I knew that my Taurus brother was gonna get me together. But what I did not know is that he was going to like break me down to my brake pads. Like, no, he broke me down to my rotors, right? Let me tell y'all what happened, okay? So I picks up my cellular device, okay? And I call him. He answers on like maybe the second ring, if that. And he's like, wow, great minds think alike, sis. I was texting you. I had one more word. He's like, hold on 1 second. And I could hear him tapping on his screen. He sends the text through. And the text says, if I'm not mistaken, you better had received every word I said. And if you want to know every word he said, I need y'all to go back and watch the episode from last week. Geno talked about fear. And when he was talking, the minute he started doing his monologue, and I can always tell when Geno was speaking in spirit, because there's a very particular sensation that comes over me. As soon as he started talking about fear and fear being data and the way that we transmute that data and use it is, you know, that's where the trick is, if you will, how you transmute that data, how you interpret that data. I knew he was speaking directly to me because fear had absolutely started seeking into me. And I say seeping into me.
And the phrase, and once again, I got to give this sister, I never met her,
Yes.
heard her on Sirius XM or Urban View with a sister named Larry Daniel Favors, Dr. Wendy, she spells her Wendy with an I, Williams. And it was so profound when I heard it. And I told it.
Yes.
I think I told you about it the first time, but then I brought
Yes,
it back.
you did.
I
Yes,
pulled
you
it
did.
because it was on my spirit. I said,
Yes.
I think the quote is, there's no,
oh my gosh, there's no
fear. Here, I'm going to get it. I want to get it because it was so
No,
oh, here it is.
No,
I got it. There's no problem bigger than your power.
No problem bigger than your power.
There's no problem bigger than your power.
And when you said it the first time,
somebody needs that tonight or whenever you're watching. There's no problem bigger than your power.
And the fact that I heard you yell that right after I got crowned, I heard you. I watched the video. Yes, sir. I was watching the video of when they were putting the crown on my head, and I'm holding my flowers, and I'm holding my trophy in one hand, and I'm stooped down, and Tamaya Tolliver, with her sweet, beautiful self, the outgoing queen, is putting that crown on my head. And I could not believe what was happening in that moment. And I hear my Taurus brother saying, yes, he did. He was yelling throughout the whole pageant. I heard him. Let's go, Taurus. Stand up, Taurus.
I'm surprised they didn't kick my ass out, Christy.
No, they was not going to kick you out because the energy in there was so awesome. And like, they was not going to kick you out. But when I heard you say, there's no problem bigger than your power. That's right, Taurus. And I mean, it was absolutely amazing. But I say all that to say, even with everything that I just shared that I have gone through in my 49 years, I'll be 50 next year. And I never thought my senior citizen, I do call myself an honorary senior citizen. I did not think that something like this, like seriously, what happened for me. I never thought I would be a queen. I shared a TikTok earlier today talking about the fact that I was bullied. I was mocked. I was mocked for my hair, my clothes, my teeth. I was mocked and bullied and picked on a lot in school.
Mm.
I always knew I was different. Never thought I was better than anybody. I knew I was different. I knew that I was made different. And to get to a moment such as this, last Saturday, being crowned Miss 2025 plus size Charleston, if I'm honest, I'm still in some disbelief. I'm still like, that really happened. Watching the videos back, watching me take my walks and do my different categories, I'm still in shock because the girl that got on that stage with the help of my brother right here, I'm trying to tell y'all, he got me together. On the, he's like, hey, Kate, we not about to do all this right here. And he's like, I know one thing. When I get there tomorrow, I better see Christy Kayla back on that stage. That's all I know. That's all I know. And I was like, yes, sir. I couldn't even argue. There was a part of me that wanted to be like, man, who you talking to, man? But I couldn't because I knew that he was telling me the truth in that moment. And I thank you for that, Geno. Because you did. You Friday night and then that Saturday morning when I went to get this dude did and co-pastor Christian Coleman, Anointed Cuts. I've gotten so much love on this hand. Honestly, when she always cuts me, I get so much love. But co-pastor Christian Coleman, Anointed Cuts, Somerville, she got me together that morning because she gave me a story about another lady. She didn't, divulge anybody's information or anything like that. She was sharing a story with me. And then she said, and for me, it lined up with what you had said to me when you talked about no problem being bigger than your power. But to hear her say, I mean, Christy, all you need to do is show up as yourself and you'll be victorious. And she was, I think she was putting like the last part in my hair. And when she said it, I snatched around and she just looked at me. She was like, you just need to show up as yourself and you will not be defeated.
Because I
And
do
I showed up
remember,
as myself.
and I yelled this out to you. I feel so, man, I was an idiot. But you know what? I'm joking. I wasn't an idiot. I
You
was a
were not.
vessel. But I do remember the last things I told you that Friday, and then I do remember yelling it. I'm sure I think we talked about it. You heard it. I think this is when you got the crown. Oh, I did. As soon as you got it. Because Alec was looking at me, because Alec was sitting next to me and Damaris was here. I said, why not you?
Yes, sir.
Why
Yes,
not you?
sir. You said that to me Friday night because when you said it, I remember grabbing my Snapple and turning it off to the side of the camera. Because when you said it, even in that moment when you said it, I knew what God was telling me. I knew what God had shown me months ago. God showed me being crowned, but I tried to talk myself out of it. I tried to refute it, and by the time you were on the phone, you was like, "No, we're not about to do this, Kay. No. Look.
We done
I
come too
have never
far,
heard that.
we doing this. Come on, you repping the Tauruses. We don't come on. We
Yeah,
don't tap out on nothing. Come on.
I know, and I promise you, I do know that. But I remember excuse me. I think in that moment, I inwardly went back to the homelessness. I inwardly went back to the overdrawn bank accounts. I inwardly went back to when people turned their back on me. I inwardly went back to the little girl standing in the middle of the circle being picked on, being told she wasn't pretty enough. Her crooked teeth. She's got all them extra teeth in her mouth. She's this. And all I remember was it was like I really was in competition with myself in essence. Again, nothing against my pageant sisters because Shauna, Asia, Mo, LaAsia, and Wendy did an excellent job on that stage. They did. But I knew that I was more so for me in competition with pushing toward my greatness or holding myself back. And
What else did I say to
staying
you?
back does seem safe.
Kate, let me on that point. What else did I say? I said, and
What
all
else
the
did you
contestants
say?
were amazing.
What else did you
But
not
I
say?
told you, I said, your biggest competition was you on Friday night.
Yes,
That was your biggest
yes.
competition.
And that was hard to hear.
When
That
you
was hard
got
to hear because I
once you
knew
conquered
it was
that,
true.
couldn't no- couldn't nobody. There was no earthly being could stop you after you conquered yourself and because that was just the enemy.
Correct.
That was the enemy, his
Yeah.
last gasp, because he knew you were there, and you come on. That's what my mother said. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and he was just he thought
Destroy, yeah.
I got to give it this one. He gave it everything he had, and he thought he had you,
He did. He did.
but he didn't realize.
I thought. Listen. Truth be told, I thought he had me too. I thought he had me too for a minute because of how I was feeling, and that's why by the time we were done with the segment and I got off, and I was sitting in my room, and I was so mad at myself because I was like, "Are you serious right now?" Like I legit was kind of inwardly arguing with myself. I was like, "What is wrong with you? Why are you doing this to yourself?" And that's when I ended up calling you. I was like, "No, I need to talk to Geno real quick because if anybody in this moment will understand how I'm feeling, it'll be him." But what I had thought was going to be not necessarily commiseration, but what I thought was going to be a little bit more confident. Nah, it wasn't that. You told me off, Geno. You did. You told me about my black self. I was like, wait a minute, that's supposed to be my brother.
So
How
let me,
we?
but, I I validate how you received it, but and I told you this multiple times before. I
Yeah,
said I didn't talk to you. I was the
I know.
vessel. The
I know.
God wanted you. He knew who to use as vessels.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
And
did.
I'm honored that
Yes, he did.
I'm one of the people he chose. Your
Yes,
hairstylist, he chose her. So he knew
yes,
he knows all of us better than we know ourselves. So he
yes,
knew in that moment who to use as a vessel
yes,
to say to you what he wanted you to hear. And he knew
yes,
exactly what vessel would be able to get through
yes,
to you.
yes.
And all
You,
I was, everything that you heard, all those conversations, and I told you, the Spirit put this and that on my heart. It wasn't me talking.
yeah,
It was
no,
it was I
it
was the
wasn't.
vessel. You heard my
Yes,
lips were moving and you heard my voice, but really
yes,
the voice wasn't mine. It was like the Spirit
true.
was using my voice and my as a vessel for you to
Yes,
hear what He needed you to hear.
yes, yes. You, co-pastor Christian, Reverend Vanessa Smalls, Bryant, and Heather from the station. Like the four of y'all never came at me under, I don't know how else to say it. It was never the, oh, Christy, it's gonna be okay. Just give it your best shot. Y'all never talked to me like that. It was always, I'm sorry, are you going through something? You better get it together and do what you need to do. And I remember after there was a time after well, Friday was the day that you really handed my behind me. I don't care what you say. I know you were speaking through the spirit, but the spirit ain't supposed to be a thug like that, sir. I don't think the spirit is supposed to like roughhouse
Was
you
I
with the
that? Was
spirit
I that
like that.
rough? Now I feel bad, Kate, because I didn't know I was.
Oh
Because
no, no.
it wasn't me.
Uh-uh.
It was what was placed on my heart. It was like my
Mm,
lips were moving, but because everything I said to you
mm.
was was just coming to me as I was
Oh,
saying.
sir,
Literally, the Spirit was putting all this on
sir.
my heart when I was speaking to you. It wasn't anything I had thought about ahead of time.
Listen, sir, I need you to understand me and hear me good. You said exactly what I needed to hear. And it needed to be put to me like that. And you now I'm sorry, because you was like, hey, Kay, stop effing around. And when you said that, I legit took the phone from my end. I was like, and looked at it because you was like, look, all right, and you even said it more than once. You was like, I'm sorry to come at you like this. You know I don't talk to you like this. I don't like being rough with you. But Kay, stop effing around. And I was like, and I
I don't
literally
even
was
remember
like,
saying that. I
oh
apologize. I don't even remember saying that.
no, you no apologies are necessary. I thank you. I thank you because I was getting I was really I had got too in my head. I had gotten like I was almost at the point of self-destruction because if I had stayed in the mindset I was, this crown would not be sitting here right now. I'm telling you, because I would have went in that building and I would have had a defeatist attitude about it. I still would have been okay. But the woman that stepped on that stage Saturday, and that's who I really truly am, mind you now, but she would not have gotten there, not with the mindset I was in just less than like 24 hours ago from that. There's no way. There's no way. So you had to gut punch me like that. And I thank God for that.
Well,
I need you to know that I thank you for that.
well, listen, thank him, and I thank God. I thank you for choosing me as a vessel. Now that wasn't that wasn't God's language, so
No,
the effing around. I don't even. Wait,
God
Chrissy,
don't talk
listen.
like that.
I swear to you, it's on my grandmother. I don't even remember saying it. I don't remember saying it, but in that
Yes.
moment, it sounded like
Oh,
me.
you
But you see, you knew where I was coming from.
I
So
did. I saw
so
your
and that was
heart
that
in it.
Taurus. I was trying to connect with that part of
You
your
did.
because I'm like we are fighters, and I'm like no,
You
come
did,
on,
and you said that to me. You actually said what you think this is? You a Taurus. We don't this is not how we carry ourselves. We don't act like this. You crazy? And you did. You you was like Kate, you just stop effing around. I legit was like ooh, and it was an authority that came out like you and you even said it. You was like I don't talk to you like this. You never spoken to me like that before, and that was that was what made me snap back. That was what was needed in that moment. That was not a moment for you to be like, oh, come on, okay, girl, you gonna be okay. No, he's like, I mean, like your inner thug came all the way out, Mr. Jones. Like your inner thug,
so
like
you know
ain't you was a former pimp? Ain't you tell me you was a
no
former
no
pimp? Because I
no
feel like
no
that came out.
no,
No,
my mother's watching.
that
No,
what you said.
but
Oh,
so let me just say this, Kate, and I know you know that because the bond that we have. We
yes,
are family.
yes,
I mean, we just
we
didn't come
are.
out of the same womb, but we are truly brother and sister.
We are.
What you heard, what you felt
Hmm.
was how much, not just how much I believed in you,
Yes.
how
Yeah.
it had already been revealed to me. I told you that. I told you before.
You did.
I told you a month. I said this is bigger than you. God has chosen you as a vessel,
Yes.
and your
Yes.
story. And everybody had a story. Your story was so unique. I knew that God was using you and was going to
Yeah.
elevate you and put you in this position to be.
Yes.
And I told you to be like a beacon, to be a light, to be a
Yes.
blueprint, to to say
Yes.
there's some woman or even a guy, man, that
Yes.
will watch this episode and hear all of what you heard. And I'm so glad that you shared everything. That's why I say we ain't rushing. This is the spirit is working. We ain't rushing nothing. This is my show.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
somebody that's watching this episode or gonna watch it, and you're gonna speak to them. And you're gonna save their life. You might literally save their life or change their life, change the entire trajectory of their life because they'll say, "Oh, wait a minute. It ain't just me. I'm not. I just thought it was something just me. Wait a minute. She
Right.
went through.
Right.
She got a similar
Right.
story, or
Yes.
her story was even, worse. Worse than mine, or
Yes.
somebody that was, was the level of depths with everything, the loss and everything. They're like, man,
Right.
if
Right.
she
And
putting it
I had
together, I
several
can do it too.
people.
They can look at you as a blueprint.
Yes. Yes. And I have had people say, especially when they found out that I had been living in a hotel, when they found out that I had been catching Ubers to go everywhere. There were so many people that was like, I had no idea that you had any of that stuff going on. You always so cheerful and fun to be around. Like you like life of the party type energy. And they didn't know I was going back to a hotel room at night. Sometimes going back and crying myself to sleep. They didn't know that some days, big as I am, some days I could not eat because I didn't have money to eat. And if I did ask for help, sometimes people ignored me. I would ask for help. I would ask for help. And then I got to a point I got tired of asking. So I went without. I was like, you know what? I'm not asking another soul for another thing. I just won't have it. So I didn't. I stopped. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And I understand now. I totally understand now that God closed all those doors because he wanted me to look to him. When it was happening, I didn't understand. But I can now look back with all certainty and know that he wanted me to rely on him and not another soul. And when I truly turned to God and I was like, God, you gotta help me with this. I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm losing my mind. That's when doors started opening up. That's when the VA, came through. That's when my benefits started kicking in. That's when things truly started to change. And I had to start believing I was worth it because I didn't. Like leading up to all that, when things weren't working for me, I was like, maybe I thought I was a good person. Maybe I'm just not. Maybe I just don't deserve this. I've been in bad places before, and maybe this is just what my life is going to be. But there was always a little voice in me that said, no, Christy, there's so much more to life for you than this. And I'd have people speak life into me and say, no, Christy, you're going through all this because of where you're going. There's so much that's going to happen for you. And I was like, well, can you tell me what time I can expect this?
That sounds like you.
What day? Can you give me an idea of when I should expect a FedEx tracking number on these blessings?
Can we synchronize our watch?
Blessings?
What time? And is it going to be on Eastern time, or is it going to be on Central time, or Mountain?
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I got tired of hearing it. I got tired of hearing, your greater is coming. I got tired of hearing God's got a blessing with your name on it. Well, can I get the UPS tracking number on it, please? Because I think it went to the wrong address. Now, this is just ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Certified. Where's that little green card? I need that number on it.
Just see what I'm saying? The little green card that they tear off. Yes, I could not. And I loved it. I can laugh about it now. But when I tell you, when all that stuff was going on, and it's like to be dealing with all of that and then to physically not be okay, man, you could not tell me I was not about to lose my natural mind. Like for real. And then to start climbing up out of that stuff and lose my son, lose Mike, lose TJ, and then to lose Frankie. And I was just like, oh my gosh, and these are people, that really are of significance to me. God, I thought me and you was homies again. Like, what happened? What's going on? Because in my mind, I wanted to equate losing them as a bad thing. Not saying that loss is not a bad thing, but we didn't lose them. I love what Chef said at Mike's memorial service. He said, we didn't lose Mike. He was like, Mike upgraded his seat. When they are relieved of their earthly bodies, they've actually been promoted. And it helps me. It does soothe me to look at it that way, but it still doesn't stop me from having those moments. I want to pick up the phone and call my girlfriend. I want to, be able to text Mike or text TJ, and I can't, so I just speak to them on the breeze. I just speak to them on the breeze. When I see a butterfly, when I see a cardinal, I'm like, what's going on? And every time I see a butterfly, that's why I love butterflies so much. Like I actually wore this ring Saturday night. I lost my other butterfly ring, or I misplaced it. I can't find it. But my mom's favorite color was red. And so when Vanessa gave this to me backstage to put on for my first look on Saturday, like I real life almost started crying because I was like, it's like she just handed me a piece of my mom, because that was hard for me. I didn't want to get on that stage and my mom and I be sitting in the audience watching me. But then I had to remember my mom was there. She was absolutely there in that building. So was Christian. He was there too. Yep. So was Mike. So was TJ.
Didn't embarrass you like I did yelling.
It's okay. I appreciate you because I love the fact that you let me further know you was there. The first time I heard your voice, I think was on my first look when I came out in this music blazer.
Yes, it was. You're right. Yep.
And I heard let's go Taurus.
Yeah.
And I don't if you look at the video, I smile because I heard you. I smiled. I was like, oh, that's my brother right there. And did my thing. And then when I came back out in the blue gown, I heard you again. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. It's like it activated me to another level when to have you there. I'm so thank you so much for coming out and supporting. I appreciate you, man. I really do. I
Well,
really do.
this might seem impossible, but I think Allie and Damaris, because you already talked to Damaris and she was so proud
I
of you.
did.
She's just a little more the Gemini. She ain't like wild like me. Like, but Allie was looking at me. She was like that. She was excited, but they were like, they were excited, but they were like I was watching the Chicago Bulls in the '90s or the Lakers with Shaq and Kobe. But that's what I felt. I
Yeah.
felt like I had won the crown and the trophy.
Yeah.
It was just because
Yeah.
I, I, like I said, I saw this. I knew it was destined, and that conversation Friday night, that was just, there was like, because I knew, because I really wasn't even though I was talking to you, I still didn't realize.
I knew you was talking to
Even
me.
with,
I
but
knew you were
whatever
talking to me.
the salty language, that wasn't directed toward you. That was my anger with the
No.
enemy, because I knew, I'm like, no, motherfucker, you are not fucking this up. I am
Yeah.
not you are not getting in here. We are rebuking you, Satan. You are not. You are
Yeah.
gonna let her go, and I'm not gonna get off the phone until I know that
Yes.
you'll let her go. I was
Yes.
fighting with
Yes.
that. There was a spiritual
Yeah.
battle, and I was like, mm-mm.
It was.
And we
It
ain't gonna
absolutely
lose.
was.
Like, this is me talking
No.
about we. I wasn't. I was like, mm-mm.
No, I appreciate you for that because seriously, that was what I needed in that moment. Because I knew that I had what it took. I knew that I had the, I knew that I had it. I knew that I had it in me. I don't necessarily mean do I had it as far as the crown went, but I knew that it was a very real possibility for me, and I was intimidated by that. And I don't know if you remember during that segment last week when I made the comment about the fear of what comes with this crown.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember me speaking
Mm-hmm.
on
I remember you
it's
saying it.
one thing to get it, but are you really ready for what comes with it?
Yes, I
And
remember.
even when I was saying it, I was like, but you talking to yourself though. You sitting here with an attitude, you're frustrated because there's still that part of me. There's still that little piece of me that's like, okay, now you've secured the crown. What are you going to do to make sure you maintain it? What are you going to do to make sure that you're empowering as many plus size women as you go? And not just plus size women, but I have a heart for plus size women because I am a plus size woman. But just to empower people in general
Yes.
and for them to know that dreams still happen, that you can that your bad days do not define the good chapters that are still being written. So it's like I feel like I can absolutely still be that beacon, but there is a responsibility that comes with it. And I just know that there are some days I'm stronger than others. There are some days where I don't feel quite as confident. There are some days where I'm not so sure, not so much that I don't have what it takes, but there are some days that I'm just trying to be okay. And so that's where it can get tricky. But yeah,
Well,
I mean,
listen, you
God
you
did that.
you
God
got
did that.
you got a hell of a you got a hell of a blueprint, your own blueprint. So
Yeah.
you should have, you are the epitome of when I say that nobody can beat you being the best version of yourself. You are the
Yeah.
living embodiment of that. And that crown right behind you, that's the
Yes.
proof.
Yes. I agree. I
I,
agree.
I, I know
Yes,
I
sir.
know I know Satan don't sleep and he gonna but it's like,
Yeah.
dude, I don't even address just, when you feel Satan trying to creep in, just put that crown on your head, look in the mirror, like, how you like
Yeah.
me now?
Right.
Why,
Right.
why not me? Why not me, enemy?
Right.
Why not? It's because
Right.
he can't take it from you.
Right.
No matter what happens, and you earned it.
You're so right
So
about that.
nobody, no
Right.
spiritual being, nobody can take that from you.
Correct.
It's documented
Correct.
for
Correct.
posterity, for eternity.
Correct.
You got it. and it's on
Yes.
videotape, and you earned it, and you got that muscle memory, and you got that blueprint. And all you have to do
Yes.
is when you shut all that, shut that noise,
Yeah.
shut them voices, and rebuke the enemy,
Yes.
and just say, wait a minute, hold on, let me activate. You know, even if you have to
Yeah.
call me, I can text me, or play that,
Yes.
play the video of me yelling, whatever you need to do,
Right.
or call the pastor that you. But you can do it for yourself now, because you got the blueprint.
Yes. Yes.
It's like
Yes.
a quick sports analogy. It's one thing to win a championship, but once you win
Ah,
it, then you got the muscle memory. Now things can happen. You know, sometimes players leave and go to other teams. You can be injured, but you still got that muscle memory. You know
yes.
what it feels
Yes, sir.
like, and you
Yes.
had it. You had it all along, and
Yes.
other people saw that. I saw it.
Yes.
The other people that supported you, your barber. That's why we were so
Yes.
adamant. It's like,
Yes.
and then
Yes, y'all were.
when you really became the best version of yourself, to see it, to see the
Yes.
manifestation of it, that's why I got so excited. I was like,
Mhm.
because I
Mhm.
got to see different
Mhm.
aspects of the gifts that God has given you that I hadn't seen before. I'm like,
Right.
I see,
Right.
she been the best version of
Yes,
herself.
sir. Yes. 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 And it does. It feels pretty good. It really does. Just to I feel like for me, I just finally realized that yes, I can. Yes, I can be. Yes, I can be. I am free to be me without any apology, without any misgiving, without any, hindrance. It's okay to be me.
Right. And it ain't no more
So
yes I can. It's yes I am. You are.
yes, I
Not I
am. Yes,
can,
I
I
did.
am. It's present tense. It ain't like the future. No, the future is here now. I am.
Correct. Correct.
There ain't no.
Correct.
So we got to get that. We have to get that language right. You know, come on.
I'm working on it.
The,
I'm working on it. It's just
the tongue carries the
I'm
power of
still
life and
like
death.
seriously. I mean, because it's tomorrow makes 7 days. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, it's just tomorrow makes 7 days. Of this having
Yeah.
happened. So
Um,
it's still
so
surreal.
so shout out uh, South Carolina State University. They have a
Yeah.
homecoming. The queen is going to be
Yes.
there. She'll be a different. I'm sure they'll have their little homecoming court and their queen,
Of
but
course. Of course.
that queen will be joined by this queen. So
Yes.
and let
I'm
everybody know
looking.
where they
I'm
can
looking.
because you got a lot of videos all over social media. So let everybody know where
I
they can
do.
follow you. And for those who didn't get a chance to witness, because you got a beautiful man, your village, your
Yes.
community is beautiful because you got
Yes.
so many videos. Everybody was
Yes, yes. Major shout out to Ginger Snap, also known as Sylvia Lewis, of the Web Sisterhood that I'm a part of. She captured every time I was on that stage. She captured my creative wear look, she captured my talent, and she captured my final walk, evening gown, my question and answer, and the awards portion. She captured everything.
beautiful.
Shout out to her for doing that.
So where can
Goodness,
people go?
I
Let
am.
everybody know where they can go look at that because it's important,
Yeah.
guys. I just look. The last thing I want to say, and I'm gonna just turn it over to you. Turn it over to you for whatever
Okay.
last words you got to say and take your time. But I really want people, especially for those who are watching this episode in real time or whenever you watch this episode this weekend or next week, Christy has
Mhm.
explained to you where she came from and what all the storms that she had to go through, even up to literally the night before,
The night
hours
before.
before. But when you see, and I've tried to explain it, but me trying to, even though I talk and tell jokes for a living, me trying to explain to you what what you will see after. So, listening to this conversation, and then go and look at her performance and all from the opening scene, talent portion, question and answer, everything, the evening gowns. It was just but the parts where she really got to display her talents, I'm not even going to try to describe it to you. You will be amazed. And I'm not just saying this because she's on the show. I knew what she had, but I was able to see things that I hadn't seen before, and it was it was beautiful to watch, but it was powerful and it was amazing. I was like, whoa. She was in full bloom. She was the best version of herself. So I say that, K Love, because I
Yeah.
want people to be able to juxtapose and listen to
Yes.
your story as you
Yes.
describe your journey and
Yes.
all the storms you had to go through, and what it took for you to rebuke the enemy who was
Oof.
still, you know, trying to throw haymakers at the last minute still.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
But
Yes, he was.
to understand that, so you listen to, just go, if you missed any of this, go back as Christy begins to explain her, which I didn't know this journey started 5 years ago.
Yes, it did. Yes, sir.
5 years ago. And
Yes.
and your reaction initially 5 years ago to with that crown behind you as the queen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir. 5 years ago.
I
Yep.
want people to really, when they get to really see you being the best version of yourself,
Mm-hmm.
totally, Christy K. Love,
Mm-hmm.
Baxter McLaurin in full bloom, like a
Mm-hmm.
rose that is in full bloom. You will be
Yeah.
like, man, sister came from all of that, and all, I mean, just the kind of loss that would crush any mortal, not
Mm-hmm.
woman, man, no matter how physically strong, things that could and have crushed people.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to rise like a phoenix out of the ashes, to have that crown, it is a story. It is beyond inspirational. It's instructional. It's a blueprint, but it is inspirational, and it's a testament to when you
Yes.
tap into your power. There's no
Yes.
problem bigger than your power.
Absolutely.
And man, when you can tap into
Absolutely.
that, you are unstoppable. There's no earthly
Absolutely.
being, there's no earthly power that can stop you when you
Mm-hmm.
tap into your power.
Yeah.
It's an awesome feeling,
It
and
is. It is. I
and
agree.
I'm so excited because I I see it and feel it. Even that just is because you have a different glow in it. It's your smile is different. It's a quiet confidence. It's not an arrogance.
Yes. It's
It's
not
like
arrogant. It's not.
when you are being the best version of yourself, it gives you a
Yes.
confidence. But life has humbled you, so it's an appreciation. It ain't I'm the baddest MF. I'm the baddest bitch.
Absolutely.
No, 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 no,
No.
no. There's greatness inside
No.
of everybody.
That ain't
But are you willing? And you said it
correct.
ironically last Friday. Are you willing to pay the price to be the best version of yourself?
Mm. Oh,
Because there's a price
that
that you
part.
have to pay, but then
That
there's a
part.
price to pay
Yes, sir.
if you allow the enemy to come in and steal, kill, and destroy you. And on top
Correct.
of it, I really personally
Oh
I
my
feel
gosh.
God gives us all these gifts, and if you don't utilize the gift, it's like cheating God. God bless you with
Mm.
these amazing gifts and
Yes.
talents, and for you not to display what you displayed, you would have been cheating God.
Correct. And you said that to me as well. You said that to me when you was telling me off. You said that. You did. You was like, God get put all of that in you. How and I think you either said you was like, how dare you? Like who like how dare you sit back on what God is doing in you? And I'm trying to tell you that's why all I could say was, yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because
But that was him speaking
I mean,
speaking
what
to
do
you
you
through
say
me. I
there?
was just a vessel, okay? That was
Yes,
all
sir.
because I don't remember half of what I said. To go to show you that
I bet you don't.
it was a vessel. It wasn't even. I was like,
Yes.
I said
Yes.
that,
I
yeah,
mean,
because it wasn't me saying it.
I know
It was
you wasn't
God using
playing
me as a
no
vessel
games, sir.
to say it to you.
But I thank you though. But I thank you that that your what they say, obedience is better than sacrifice. And I appreciate that you were obedient. And you told me that if I did not show up as Christian, you was like, you're being disobedient. And because I remember when you said it, I was like, whoa. You was like, yeah, King. If you and that's when you followed up with, all I know is when I get there tomorrow night, I better see Christy K Love on that stage. That's all I know. And I was like, oh, I was like, yes, sir. I was like, you're right. I got it. He's like, do whatever you need to do. You go relax your nerves.
I did. I told you.
take
I said, go run you some bubble bath and get your little earbuds.
about
I
that.
said, don't let the radio fall in the water. I did.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You're like, you need to go back
Cut the
and
phone
watch
off. Yeah.
what I said. And you even told you was like, you don't have to watch the whole episode, but you need to watch what I said in my monologue. Because yeah, we're not doing this. We're not doing this, Kane. I was like, okay, okay, okay. But by the time we got off the phone, I was like, that brother said nothing but the truth. And Christy, if you don't show up tomorrow, that's going to all be on you because God has already shown you what you need to do. So if you don't, it's on you. And when I tell you once, I had already had that revelation myself, got some rest, and I had to get up at 5:45 Saturday morning to get to Somerville, to get to Christian. And she was actually finishing up my hair. My hair was already at that point. It was dyed. It was cut. She was just lining me up and cleaning me up and all that. And when that girl said, "You'll be victorious as long as you show up as yourself," and when I heard her, I was like, and and she said it. She's like, yeah. She's like, you will be victorious if you show up as yourself. You cannot be defeated if you show up as yourself. And I was like, okay, say less, sis. And just to actually secure this crown and go through all of this, it's all come full circle for me now. Now it all makes sense why I had to go through the things that I went through. But there's still so much more for me to do. There is, but for anybody out there, just understand that your valley is not your destination. It's just an appointment. It's not where you will remain. You have to go through the storms to get to the sunshine. You do. I am so glad that the week before the pageant, we went to First Baptist Church, and I believe her name is Reverend Rosalind Daniels. Is that her name? From Charity Missionary Baptist Church. I may be saying the wrong last name, but I know her name is Reverend Rosalind. She sings with the Lucas sisters, and she has the red sister locks. And that lady preached such a powerful message about your valleys not being your destinations, that they're simply appointments. And that thing, I was so moved that day in church. I cried so much in church that Sunday, and then wound up called to the front of the church, and then I got stretched out. There I got called up. Pastor Charlie called me up to the front of the church. I was like, no, I did not get called out and stretched out in the house of the Lord. But when I tell you, when I got up off of that floor, I was not the same. I was not the same. That's why the enemy came back on me the way he did that Friday, because he already knew. He already knew what it was about to be. And if I had chosen to stay there, this crown would not be right here with me right now. I guarantee you it would not have been, because I would have stayed in that valley where I was at. And it was a valley of grief. It was absolutely a valley of grief and a valley, I can't say a valley of worthlessness, because I knew that I deserved it, but I didn't believe it. And that's where you have to tie the two in. You have to know that you're worth it, but you have to believe that you deserve to have it. If you don't, it doesn't work out for you. So
That's what, see,
yeah.
in life, you got to always bet on you. But I want you to give everybody your social media
Yeah.
sites and the other site, the Ginger Snap site, because I really want people. You got to see. You got to see this woman's talents, multi-talented.
I appreciate
It's
that.
amazing, and all the contestants were amazing. But it's just
They were.
you will
They
see
were.
why the spirit used me to, like, you know, tough love, as she calls it, whatever. He just
Yes,
used me as a vessel just to be her hype man and just get you to believe in yourself and get you to
you
bet
did.
on yourself. And that's why I said, why not you? Because
You did.
all the stuff you done
You
prayed
did.
for, you got it in
Yes.
spades. Literally, no pun intended. You got it in spades.
Yes. yes.
You
Yes.
your biggest competition. You your
Um,
biggest enemy. The only person that can
correct.
beat you in this
Correct.
moment is you. If you let the enemy
Correct.
go ahead and have this victory, no man. So let everybody know where they can
Yeah.
go on social media and see everything.
Yes. So all I have shared both of I said both. There's like 4 different videos. From like he said, it's every category that I competed in this past Saturday at the Miss Plus Size pageant. So on I do have 2 social media pages or 2 Facebook pages, but if you go to Christie with a K, so Kristie Love Baxter, you'll see all the videos. I shared them from Ginger Snap. That is her Facebook name. That is my web sister. Her name is Sylvia Lewis, but Ginger Snap got every category. My creative wear, which was my first look, my talent, my evening gown, and the evening gown portion, I did my walk. We did question and answer, and then she even got the awards presentation. And I'm trying to tell you, I was not expecting to get all those awards. Christy with a K, Christy K Love Baxter. My other page is under the name Christy Baxter McLaurin. So if you go on Facebook, you'll be able to find those videos with no problem. They've been shared multiple times. And for those of you that do see this and have already, watched the videos and sent the congratulations and the love and support, I wholeheartedly thank you. Thank y'all so much. Thank you for everyone that did believe in me. Thank you for everyone that pushed me, especially this one right here on this screen, Mr. Jones, because he said it was tough love. It was not tough love. That was thug love. That was thug love. So there's a difference. That was thug love. But I thank you, my brother. Thank you so much.
Listen. And
I
wait a minute,
appreciate
because
you.
you are on Instagram and TikTok, right? Let everybody.
Yes. Oh, you know what? Now, I'll be honest with you. The only thing I shared on TikTok was I put together a cap cut of my evening. So you
Okay.
can see like all of my looks. On TikTok, I am Christy Love 37 on TikTok. And I am on Instagram, but on Instagram, I just shared a picture post. I didn't share
Okay.
any videos. All That's why I only mentioned Facebook,
Okay.
because all the videos are actually on Facebook. Yeah, Christy with a K, Kristie. But if you search Miss Plus Size Charleston, it's pulling everything up. So if
Okay.
you just search
Because they have
Miss
their own
Plus
page,
Size
right?
Charleston,
They got a social. Do they
yes,
have a Instagram or Facebook or Tik?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think they have. Yeah, I don't think they do. And actually, they were talking about starting new pages because they wanted to clean up the content and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
But I know that if you go on the search bar and just type in Miss Plus Size Charleston, it's been pulling everything
It'll
up.
come up.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, Christy with a K, Kristie, and you'll be able to find me.
There's no problem bigger than your power.
Yes, sir.
Here's your here's your living embodiment. This is in the human form. This is the
Yes.
result when you realize that there's no problem bigger than your power. And
Yes, sir.
I
Yes, sir.
the last thing I promise this is the last thing because it could just why like I said when this stuff is when it's placed on your heart. And I
Yes.
was just gonna say as much joy as you received, getting the crown and all the love,
Yeah.
it doesn't even
Yeah.
compare to the joy that you are going to receive that you haven't even seen and you have no idea where it's going to come from because there's going to be
Wow.
somebody that's going to come up to you or somebody's going to DM you or call you and say, man, K Love, I watched you. I saw you on TV. I saw you on Geno's show. I saw all your videos. I watched the Friday night episode before the pageant, and I watched you this Friday. And when you shared your story, because you share your story on stage, so when you see the video, you will see her. But the way she tells the story is just it'll take your breath away. It is amazing. It is something that should be a Broadway play, which is some because I know you're working on a book. You're gonna come back and talk about a book, a screenplay,
Yeah.
and really because watching you, and I told the mayors and Allie, it was like It was like one of those one woman, because they have a one man or one woman play.
Wow.
It was like watching a one woman play.
That just gave me chills because that's confirmation because that was something that was spoken to me in spirit that I need to do a one woman show.
Yes,
I received that.
once again, it ain't me.
I received that.
That's just the affirmation that he wants you to know. So
That is.
you need to work on that.
I received that.
But
Yes.
when
Yes.
when somebody walks up to you or calls you or DMs you, and when they share their journey and
Yes.
the depths that they were in and how you turned their life around, how you gave them light, hope, or saved their life. Oh man, that's really going. You talking about you ain't shed no tears. I mean, it's going to
I
know
know it.
that God can use you as a vessel to literally change or save somebody's life, and for them to
Yes,
give
sir.
you that testimony and to tell you that is, man, I can't even put words behind
Yes,
that,
sir.
but I know you can appreciate that it's an honor that God is
Absolutely.
you've been chosen, and to He's giving you put that anointing on you, and got you as a vessel to do that, because
Yes.
everybody's not chosen, or as they say, everybody ain't able, everybody isn't chosen.
Right.
you know
That part.
you got a
That
lot of
part.
folks
And
think
I
they
and I
are.
have that. That's the word. I know. A lot of them are self-appointed too, but
Yes.
they think because they got the certificate online. Yeah, they done got their online certificates and you can't tell them nothing.
What you
So, what do
say?
you do? But, I mean, they do. They be, getting their
They got them out the
certificates off
cereal
Amazon
box
and
back in
stuff.
the day. The old Cracker Jacks.
You see what I'm saying? Back in the day.
They open a box of
Out the
Cracker
Honey
Jacks.
Smacks.
Oh, I got a certificate.
Yes. Yes, and you can't tell them nothing, but it's a different thing when and that was something I said on the live podcast we did the week before the pageant, because the fact of the matter is God does not call the qualified, he qualifies the called, and people don't get that. A lot of people qualify themselves and then they get all in their feelings because you got you clear you got all of this, but you ain't got no power. You got all these titles, but you ain't got a lick of power. Ain't got nan piece of power. But God, yeah, okay.
Say
I'm
that
not even gonna
again,
go
kid.
there.
That's gonna be
Okay.
the last word. I've never heard that before. I love that. I'm gonna have to write that down. What is it again?
What was that? But God doesn't call the qualified; He qualifies the called. Or
Yeah, that part.
what you
Yes.
talking about?
Yeah, that.
Oh, yeah. Yes. K loves closing thought. Yes, God does not call the qualified; He qualifies the called. If God appoints you, then man cannot disappoint you. And by disappoint you, I don't mean as in fall short, because we're human. We're all going to fall short. But man cannot disprove you. That's a better word.
I'm gonna do
Man
it.
can they can't take it away from you.
I'm doing this on
You
camera.
chose.
All right, give me that one last time.
All right. Sure thing. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called.
God does not call the qualified.
He qualifies
He
the called.
qualifies the
The called.
called.
The called. CALLED.
The
Yeah,
call.
he
Yep,
doesn't
that's what I
call the
thought. God
qualified.
does not
He
call the qualified.
qualifies
He
the call.
qualifies the call. Damn, that is. I never heard that
Yes.
before. I love that. I'm gonna use. You can
Yeah.
invoice me on that one, because that.
Man, I can't take credit for that. I can't take credit for that because that it's just that's the reality of it. And I'm not even trying to be funny when I say this. I'm not sure if I read that actually in scripture, but I know that to be true. There's a lot of self-appointed people of faith. And I'm not, yeah, and I have to put it in quotes because that's not faith that they're operating out of. But when God qualifies you and when God calls you, man cannot disprove that. They will try. They'll absolutely try. They'll tell you crazy. They'll tell you that there's something wrong with you. You just a little touched. They'll try to tell you all that kind of stuff because they don't want you. They don't want you to realize your power. There's a lot of people that are around you that realize your power and they're going to try to talk you out of it because when you come to really realize the full essence of who you are, then it makes them who are shiftless and not doing anything with themselves, then it makes them feel less than. So they're going to try to bring you down to their level. No, no. Do not let people pull you into their chaos. You pull them into your peace. That's what you do. And because they'll try it. They trust me, they will try it. I know. I know they will.
We just
They
dropped the
will.
mic.
That's it.
Thank you, my sister. Get you some
Yeah.
rest. I know you got
Thank
an early
you.
day too.
I will.
Uh, Congratulations. I love
Yes.
you. I'm so proud of
Heading
you.
out to
We
Orange
all,
Grove.
Damaris, Allie, we were all so excited. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
you got a chance to talk to Damaris earlier in the week, and you could hear the excitement in her voice. She was just
I sure did. I could. I could. I was so glad you was there. So glad that BP, shout out to Belinda BP Parker. She was there as
yeah.
well. My daddy, my daughter, my two sisters. My sister was backstage with me. One of my sisters, Shanna. That's who always beats this face. And my baby sister Vicky was there. And like I said, my baby girl Adea was there. And some of my great friends were there. Natasha, Dorlisha, my Webstar Sisterhood. It was so many of y'all that came there to show me love. Y'all just don't know how much that meant to me. Thank y'all for being there for one of the biggest nights of my life. That it was beautiful. It was every time I actually do get teary eyed every time I look at the videos because it was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I appreciate everybody that genuinely has love for K Love. That I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, you
Thank
only
you so much.
you only got back what you've been given for since I known you, and I know before that. So, and she's being modest, y'all.
Thank
K
you.
Love had so many people there; they had their own zip code. K Love section had K
Ain't
Love
no
section had their own zip code and area code.
No,
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with
you
that.
funny.
Right, she
You
had
funny.
right. They had
No, there
own
was,
municipal. They
you
had city
know,
hall and everything. Fire, police, water.
you funny. You real funny for that. You funny.
All
I
right.
appreciate you though.
Have a great weekend, my sister. Thank you.
You
Congrats.
too.
All right, we love you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh man, I'm so proud of her. All right, listen, thank you everybody. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. God bless each and every one of you and especially you, God, most of all. Thank you. Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. This is the first week. So Wednesday, October 1st, the 5th anniversary of the Geno Jones Show. The Geno Jones Show turned 5 years old, October 1st. So this is just kicking off a month-long celebration. We'll be celebrating all month long the 5-year anniversary of the show. Shout out to Courtney Johnson, KojoLLC.com. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Carolinas, call her, tell her you were watching my show. 843-543-4022, 843 area code 543-4022. Shout out to Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist of the Geno Jones Show, CEO, Designer Cuts. Check him out on Instagram, Kel Be Cutting Up, KelBeCuttinup. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check her and her Lexi Jones collection out. Fashion designer, future superstar, supermodel, and DJ. Oh yeah, she's on them pioneers on that control on them 1 and 2s. Check her out on Instagram, lx.ncl underscore lx.ncl underscore. Have a great weekend, everybody. No, have a great weekend. Go back, and if you missed any of this episode, know it's a long one. So take time. You got all weekend unplugged from the news and all this craziness. It was a powerful episode. There's no problem bigger than your power. And Christy's story, K-Love's story, is the epitome. It is the living testimony and a living testament, manifestation in the human form of this phrase, there is no power, there's no problem bigger than your power. There is no problem bigger than your power. Go back and binge watch every episode. Please leave your comments in the comment section below, everybody. Please be sure to click, give me the thumbs up, and tell everybody to subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. And we'll see you Monday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.